tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Buddhaya, meritorious Dhamma friends. Today we are going to learn the importance of the Binara Full Moon Poya Day. In the last program, in the last sermon we did for the Bhikkhini Full Moon Poya Day, we learned about Arahanta Ananda and Venerable Ananda's great qualities. So today we will be learning about a great person, about a great mother, and also about a great Arahant, Bhikkhuni, in today's program. So the significance of the Binara Full Moon Poya Day is, on the Binara Full Moon Poya Day, Prajapati Gautami, the Buddha's second mother, Prajapati Gautami was the person who took care of Prince Siddhartha after Queen Mahamaya passed away. And after the Prince Siddhartha seeing 4 signs, and sick person, old person, then a dead body and a monk. After seeing these signs, Prince Siddhartha left the palace. He understood that he will also fall into those difficulties. He will also fall sick. He will also get old one day. He will die, and also he will suffer in this life and also in future births. So to escape from that miserable state, the Prince Siddhartha, he wanted to find a path and a way to overcome rebirth. And then he struggled in the forest for almost 6 years, gave pain to the body, and finally he realized and understood the Noble Eightfold Path, the middle path, and became a Samma Sambuddha. So after becoming a Samma Sambuddha, after preaching Dhamma and after creating arahants by preaching Dhamma to lay people, the Blessed One visited his hometown, that is Kapilavastu. So the Blessed One, after visiting Kapilavastu, he preached Dhamma to his relatives, to his father, to his mother, then to Queen Yashodhara, to his wife, and also the Blessed One, our Buddha, was able to ordain his one and only son, that was Prince Rahula. And also the Blessed One, at one occasion, there was a fight in between Shakyans and Kolyans. So they were fighting for water. They wanted to get water from the Rohini river, from the river Rohini, for their cultivation, for their crops. So since there were less water, they were ready for a huge fight. So the Blessed One went there and solved the problem, and then finally from each clan 250 men became monks. So total of 500 princesses became monks. So after those princesses became monks, the women were left at home. So anyway, after the Blessed One went to his hometown, Prajapati Gautami, after learning Dhamma from the Blessed One, even Prajapati Gautami realized that, these births and deaths, from birth to death we have to suffer, and after we die we have to go through another life, and then this endless births and deaths, we have to experience a lot of suffering. So by understanding the true nature of life, even Prajapati Gautamiya, the mother who took care of the Blessed One, the mother who took care of Prince Siddhartha, even she wanted to become a nun. Then she requested 3 times. So this happened when the Blessed One was living in the land of Sakyans near Kapilavatthu in the Banyan Tree Monastery. We call it Nigrodharama. Then Mahaprajapati Gautami went up to the Buddha, bowed, stood to one side and said to him, Sir, please let females gain the going forth from lay life to homelessness in the teaching and training proclaimed by the Blessed One. Enough, Gautami, don't ask for females to gain the going forth from lay life to homelessness in the teaching and training proclaimed by the Blessed One. Then for a second time, Prajapati Gautamiya asked for ordination. For a third time, Prajapati Gautamiya asked for ordination, but the Buddha refused. The Blessed One said that the Blessed One refused to ordain females. So the Blessed One would have seen the drawbacks of ordaining females. Females should be protected. They need protection. So, during the Buddha's time, monks lived in the forest. And also, monks live in caves. They go from village to village. So even bhikkhunis, even females, once they become monks, they have to give up their friends, relatives, and live a lonely life. And they have to depend on other people. So women need more protection than men. So Buddha was very compassionate towards beings. So Buddha refused for 3 times. But Prajapati Gautamiya, even the Buddha refused, he did not give up. Prajapati Gautamiya, she did not give up the idea of becoming a monk, becoming a nun, and also she did not give up the idea of attaining Nibbana. Because even though the Buddha denied that, she understood how difficult my nun's life could be, how difficult my life could be after becoming a nun. Yet, I have to suffer a lot in samsara. Blessed One is telling this out of compassion for us, but I am willing to dedicate my life to become a nun. That's our Prajapati Gautami. She dedicated her life to become a nun. If you see nuns today, the Dhamma friends, that's because it was the first person, Prajapati Gautami, on a Binara full moon Poya day, requested for ordination. But even the Buddha refused. She did not give up the idea of practicing this path of Dhamma and giving up the lay life. Then the Blessed One, after preaching Dhamma to his relatives, the Blessed One left Kapilavastu and he came to Vishala. The Blessed One came to Vishala and he was living at Kutagar Hall. So for Kutagar Hall, you can call it in this way. In the translation it says, stayed at the great wood in the hall with the peaked roof. So even today if you go to India and if you visit Vishala, Mahanura, that is Vesali, you will see these places. The ruins are still there. Emperor Dharmasoka protected these places. Then, dear Dhamma friends, the Blessed One came back to Vishala, and then when he was living in Vishala, Prajapati Gautamiya, she gathered the other 500 girls whose husbands has become monks, and they were living alone at the palace and in their homes. So Prajapati Gautamiya spoke to those women and taught the Dhamma and also encouraged them to become nuns. And they were also eager to become nuns. And Prajapati Gautamiya, along with those 500 women, they became nuns on their own. They became nuns in the sense like they started wearing robes. Even the Buddha rejected them. They gave up their home, just normal life. They gave up their normal life. They gave up decorating themselves. They gave up beautifying themselves, they gave up coloring their nails, and they started living a normal life. They started wearing robes. They gave up the royal clothes. And even though they did not get ordination, they were ordained themselves. Mentally, they gave up the attachment towards this beauty that fades away one day. And Prajapati Gautamiya, together with the other 500 princesses, came to meet the Blessed One. And then again requested for ordination from the Blessed One. Then Blessed One refused again. Then Venerable Ananda came to the Blessed One and said, "Dear Blessed One, see now what happened in the sutta. This sutta is in Anguttara Nikaya, in the book of Eights, Attaka Nipata. The name of this sutta is Gautami Sutta." Then Mahaprajapati Gautamiya had her hair cut off, dressed in orange robes, together with several Sakyan ladies. She set out for Vesali. Traveling stage by stage, she arrived at Vesali and went to the great wood, the hall with peak roof. Then Mahaprajapati Gautami stood crying outside the gate. Her feet swollen, her limbs covered with dust, miserable and sad, with tearful face. Then Venerable Ananda saw her standing there and said to her, "Gautami, why do you stand, crying outside the gate? Your feet swollen, your limbs covered with dust, miserable and sad, with tearful face." Sir Ananda, it's because the Buddha does not permit females to become nuns in the teachings and training proclaimed by the Blessed One. Then Venerable Ananda, in the Nikini Full Moon Poya Day also we learn about Venerable Ananda. Now in this Binara Full Moon Poya Day, Venerable Ananda is also involved, helping Prajapati Gautami to become a nun. Then Gautami, wait here just a moment while I ask the Buddha to give you the going forth for females. Then Venerable Ananda went up to the Buddha, bowed, sat down to one side and said to him, "Sir, Mahaprajapati Gautami is standing, crying outside the gate." Just imagine, Prajapati Gautami is standing outside the gate. Her feet swollen, her limbs covered with dust, bleeding from the foot. Miserable and sad, with tearful face, she says that it's because the Buddha does not permit females to go forth. Sir, please let females gain the going forth from the lay life to homelessness in the teaching and training proclaimed by the Blessed One. Enough, Ananda. Don't ask for females to gain the going forth from lay life to homelessness in the teaching and training proclaimed by the Blessed One. For a second time, for a third time, Venerable Ananda asked the Blessed One. Then, since Buddha refused Venerable Ananda for 3 times, Venerable Ananda tried a different approach. Then Venerable Ananda thought, the Buddha does not permit females to go forth. Why don't I try another approach? Dear Dhamma friends, in a Buddha Sasana, you should learn the Buddha's teachings a lot to see and to know how things work in a Buddha Sasana. Buddha did things being detached, not being attached. Buddha was able to see other people's mind. He was able to see the future of beings. He was able to see the danger, gratification, and also escape. So Buddha took decisions only by seeing reasons. By knowing facts, he took reasons. He had 10 powers. Based on those 10 powers, Dasabala Jnana, Visharada Jnana, 4 best knowledges. Based on the 10 powers, based on the 4 knowledges, he took decisions, not just like us. Then Venerable Ananda said to the Buddha, "Sir, is a female able to realize the fruits of stream entry, once returner, non-returner, and arahantship once she has gone forth?" Then the Blessed One said, yes, if a woman becomes a nun, if a woman becomes a nun, she is possible. She can become a stream entrant. She can become a one returner, a non-returner, and also an arahant. Then Blessed One, then Venerable Ananda said, if a female is able to realize the fruits, Sir Maha Prajapati Gautami has been very helpful to the Buddha. She is aunt. She is his aunt who raised him, nurtured him, and gave her milk. When the Buddha's birth mother passed away, that means when after the Mahamaya queen passed away, she nurtured him at her own breast. Sir, please let females gain the going forth from lay life to homelessness in the teachings and training proclaimed by the Blessed One. Then the Buddha said, Ananda, if Prajapati Gautami accepts these 8 principles, Astagaru Dharma, of respect, that will be her ordination. Now, since Venerable Ananda convinced the Buddha, then the Buddha said to Venerable Ananda, if Prajapati Gautami and all the nuns, if they accept 8 conditions, Prajapati Gautami will get her ordination. Then, so the Blessed One said, and if Mahaprajapati Gautami accept these 8 principles of respect, that will be her ordination. So just accepting these 8 conditions, Prajapati Gautami is receiving an ordination. See how meritorious Prajapati Gautami was. Children, to become a mother of a Buddha, to become a person, to nurture a Buddha, that was Prajapati Gautami and Queen Mahamaya. It was just 2 persons in this world. It was King Suddhodana. So just imagine how fortunate, how meritorious they were. So in this Binara full moon Poya day, we should learn about Prajapati Gautami, then about Queen Mahamaya, where Queen Mahamaya was born in next life, what happened to Queen Mahamaya, then what happened to Prajapati Gautami. So, and also in this Binara full moon Poya day, on this Binara full moon Poya day, it has almost 2 months. 2 months has passed. The monks who have started spending their rains retreat, 2 months has already finished. So from after 1 month, from 1 month onwards, from next month onwards, from next month onward, you can see Katina ceremonies in Sri Lanka, where people offering robes to the monks. After monks receive those robes, after that Katina ceremonies takes place, monks get benefits. So, Dhamma friends, and most of the monks become arahants, and most of the monks become stream entrants during the Vassana retreat. They live in one place. They meditate at one place. They have very less responsibilities. So they get the chance to live in one place and meditate for a long period. So this Binara Poya, Bhikkhini Poya, these 2 Poya days, these past months, is a golden time that monks spend. And also the coming Poya day. So these 3 months, lay people should attend to the Sangha as much as possible, because it's a rare chance. They are striving hard to practice this Dhamma, being at one place. So lay people, they should think about this and offer dana and help the monks with medicine, with shelter, and with robes. So this is a very rare chance that you get throughout the year. It's only 3 months where the monks spent a rains retreat. Then, dear Dhamma friends, the first condition was a nun, even if she has been ordained for 100 years, should bow down to a monk who was ordained that very day. Just imagine there's a bhikkhuni who has spent a nun's life for almost 100 years. Just imagine after 100 years, a new monk, a person becomes a monk, a lay person becomes a monk, a novice monk, that bhikkhuni has to respect, bow down to that novice monk. Now, if Buddha appointed that, if Buddha imposed that condition to the bhikkhunis, just imagine how much the lay people should respect the Sangha. the bhikkhus, the monks. Then, dear Dhamma friends, the Blessed One said, should rise up for him, greet him with joined palms, and observe proper behavior towards him. This principle should be honored, respected, esteemed, and venerated, and not broken so long as life lasts. So today, on this Binara Full Moon Poya Day, take a strong determination to respect the Sangha, to bow down and keep the palms together and worship the Sangha until you pass away from this world, until your life lasts. Take that strong determination on this Binara Full Moon Poya Day to respect Sangha as a veneration to Arahant Prajapati Gautami Teri. You know, dear Dhamma friends, Prajapati Gautami Teri, when she was ready to attain Mahaparinibbana, when she had life to live, she gave up life to live. She came to the Blessed One and took permission to attain Mahaparinibbana. After the Prajapati Gautami left the Blessed One, the Blessed One went behind Prajapati Gautami, went behind the Prajapati Gautami to show respect until the gate. If the Blessed One followed behind someone until to the gate, just imagine when a friend comes to your house and you go until the gate when they leave the house, just like that the Blessed One went together behind Prajapati Gautami to show veneration to Prajapati Gautami. So Prajapati Gautami got veneration from the Buddha, was taken care of the Buddha, got respected by the Buddha in that way also. So let's venerate Prajapati Gautami on this Binara Full Moon Poya Day. And then, dear Dhamma friends, a nun should not start the rainy season residence. Then the second condition is, a nun should not start the rainy season residence in a place without monks to advise. So a nun should not start the rainy season residence in a place where without monks to advise. So they should spend the rains retreat in a place that is close by, where monks could advise the bhikkhunis. So they should be always living under the protection of bhikkhus. See how compassionate the Buddha was. Buddha wanted to give more protection for the bhikkhunis. That's why Buddha gave these 8 conditions, not just to control the bhikkhunis, not just to put the bhikkhunis in trouble, not to step down women, to protect the women. Buddha did these things. To protect the women, Buddha did these things. Then Buddha said, every 2 weeks, the nuns should expect 2 things from the community of monks. See, 2 things they should expect from the monks. Asking about doing uposatha and visiting for advice. So just imagine, Buddha is trying to keep these bhikkhunis under the protection of the Sangha, under the protection of the monks. So they get proper advice from the monks and they get the dates for uposatha. So they always have some connection with the bhikkhunis, with the bhikkhus, to protect the bhikkhunis' life. Why after these females, after they give up their lay life, they give up their mother and father. They give up their relatives. They give up their husbands. What do they have? What protection they have other than the Dhamma? So even after the Buddha's passing away, one day, even after the Buddha passed away, Buddha wanted to protect the females. That's why Buddha laid down these 8 conditions. Not to condemn women. Then the Blessed One said, the 4th condition is, after completing the rainy season residence, the nuns should proclaim purity to the communities of both monks and nuns in regard to anything that was seen, heard and suspected. That means after the rains retreat, the bhikkhuni should go to the monk, the bhikkhuni should go to the monk and get the purity. They should ask, dear Bhante, if I have done anything wrong from my body, speech and mind, please tell me. Please, I would like to correct myself. So the bhikkhuni should go to the monks and also should go to the bhikkhunis, to the other senior bhikkhunis, to the other community of bhikkhunis and declare the purity and find out whether they have done anything wrong or bad to correct themselves. See how compassionate the Buddha was. Why? Buddha wanted to help the bhikkhunis to maintain good qualities in life to attain Nibbana. Such a great teacher can be only seen, that such great qualities from a teacher to be seen is only from a Buddha. Dear Dhamma friends, then Buddha explains as the fifth condition. The fifth condition is, a nun who has committed a grave offense should undergo penance in the communities of both monks and nuns for 2 weeks. You know, when bhikkhus or bhikkhunis, when they break a major precept or a minor precept, they have to go and reveal it to another monk. Now, if it is a monk, this monk had to go and, a high ordained monk, if they break a precept, they should go and tell it to another monk to purify himself. That's the only way to purify yourself in a Buddha Sasana. If you have done something wrong, you should reveal it to another monk. In the same way, a bhikkhuni has to reveal it to another bhikkhuni. Now, if they commit a grave offense, they have to reveal it to the bhikkhus and bhikkhunis both. Buddha wanted to protect them. Then that was the fifth condition. Now, for a normal person who does not love Nibbana, who does not have a strong desire to attain Nibbana, they will reject these 8 conditions. Just imagine a lady who has done a mistake, they have to go to the Sangha and reveal it. They need to have a lot of, they need to have a strong mind to be open and to be honest in front of the Sangha, to tell a grave offense that they have done. So, for a lady to develop that mind, to accept these conditions, if someone is accepting these conditions, that means that person, that female disciple is humble, obedient, and they have respect towards Buddha, respect towards Dhamma and Sangha. Without being obedient and humble, this path of Dhamma is not open for anyone in this world. Learn the Karanimatta Sutta and see how much good qualities we need to develop to not to come back to a mother's womb again. For that to happen, how much good qualities we should develop. Buddha says in the Karanimatta Sutta to practice loving kindness just as a mother shows to her one and only child. Boundless loving kindness towards all beings. We should become humble, obedient, easy to support. So, if someone can accept these 8 conditions, honestly, he is an obedient person. So, Prajapati Gautami is an obedient person. If not, she wouldn't accept these things. And all the other nuns accepted these 8 conditions. They were all obedient, female disciples. So, if Buddha laid down these 8 conditions, just that was to develop good qualities in females. And those good qualities will help the females to realize the 4 noble truths, not to put them in trouble. Then, dear Dhamma friends, a trainee nun, the 6th one, a trainee nun who has trained in the 6 rules for 2 years, Sikha Mata, should seek ordination from the communities of both monks and nuns. Now, these things should be practiced, not broken so long as life lasts. So, females had more precepts than male disciples, than bhikkhus. That was also to protect the bhikkhunis. If Buddha said something, if Buddha advised something, that is for protection, not for the downfall of people. Then a nun should not abuse or insult a monk in any way. The principle should be honored, respected, esteemed and venerated and not broken so long as life lasts. So a bhikkhuni can't insult a monk in any way. Dear Dhamma friends, forget about bhikkhunis for some time. There was a person called Isidasi in the past. She, when the husband comes, she raises from the chair. She stands. When the husband's mother and father came to the house, she stood. When the husband's brothers came to the house, she respected and stood. She never gave the husband's plate. She never gave the pans and the pots that used to cook the food for the husband. She never gave those pans and pots for the servant to wash. Just imagine how much respect those women in the past had towards the husband. And Buddha said a wife should wake up before the husband, and the wife should go to sleep after the husband goes to sleep. A wife should have pleasant words. A wife should protect the husband's wealth. So there is a special sutta called Saptabharya Sutta about 7 wives. So, dear Dhamma friends, whatever the Buddha preached, it could be for the lay people, it could be for the lay male disciples, or it could be for the female disciples. All those things were to protect the people from doing bad things. Helping the people not to do bad things. So, bhikkhunis can't insult monk in any way. Then the 8th one, from this day onwards, it is forbidden for nuns to advise monks. But it is not forbidden for monks to advise nuns. This principle should be honored. Dear Dhamma friends, just see, once you become a nun, you have to practice these 8 conditions. So Prajapati Gautamiya, she wholeheartedly accepted these 8 conditions, just like what? I'll tell from the sutta. So these conditions was said to Venerable Ananda, and Venerable Ananda went to Prajapati Gautamiya and said these 8 conditions. So after telling these 8 conditions, Prajapati Gautamiya said something wonderful, said an amazing thing to Venerable Ananda. Let's learn that too. After Venerable Ananda said these 8 conditions, Venerable Prajapati Gautamiya said, Venerable Ananda, suppose there was a woman or a man who was young. Just imagine there's a woman or a man who was young, 16, 17, youthful and fond of adornments, and had bathed their head. That means very clean now. After getting a garland of lotuses or jasmine flowers, they would take them in both hands and place them on the crown of the head. In the same way, sir, I accept these 8 conditions, 8 principles of respect, and not to be broken so long as life lasts. Just as you keeping a flower garland or a nice flower decoration on your head without disgusting it, being proud of it, being happy of it, seeing that you look more beautiful with those flower garlands. By understanding like that, Prajapati Gautamiya, she understood that with these 8 conditions, my life will be protected. With that intention, with those wholesome thoughts, Prajapati Gautamiya accepted those 8 conditions. Something hard for a woman, she did that. Something hard for women, she did that. Attaining Nibbana is more pleasurable. Attaining Nibbana is more peaceful than these 8 conditions. Once you have attained Nibbana by following these 8 conditions, there is no rebirth in samsara. All the problems that you have to face in samsara will be abandoned from the day that you started following these conditions. Then the path of Dhamma will open for you. You will get advice from the monks, from the bhikkhus. You will become humble. Then you will learn the path to realize the 4 Noble Truths. So in this way, from that day onwards, the bhikkhuni, from that day onwards, in this Buddha Sasana, females got the opportunity to become nuns. So if someone has become a nun, they should remember Prajapati Gautamiya. If someone likes to worship nuns, if someone likes to offer dana to nuns, if someone likes to become a nun, they should remember Prajapati Gautamiya. They should remember Venerable Ananda. And the topmost person to remember is the Buddha. It's all because of a Buddha. We are seeing monks, we are seeing nuns. And even the Buddha gave the permission for the ladies, for the females to become nuns. Buddha gave that ordination with a protection for them. That's because Buddha was compassionate. That's because Buddha had the ability seeing other people's mind, and he had the ability to see the future, which ordinary people does not have. So from this sutta, honestly, dear Dhamma friends, we can develop a pleasant mind. We can be so happy with the Buddha, thinking that Buddha protected the Buddha Sasana. And we can be happy with the Buddha's teachings. And also we can be happy with the Sangha. So dear Dhamma friends, in this Binara full moon Poya day, try to observe 8 precepts. Then learn the lives of Arahants, offer dana, and especially during this Vassana season, try to attend to the Sangha. Take care of Sangha, it's a very rare chance. So we warmly encourage you, and we wholeheartedly encourage you to learn the Buddha's teachings and gain the final assurance for your lives, to realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Buddhaya.